Oh, hey there! Congratulations! You just found your way to the best gaming channel on YouTube. Because on our channel, we play everything! Disclaimer. These are the sole opinions of Double Dragon Gaming. They are not fact, law, or gospel. Please do not lose your freaking minds over our point of view. Thank you. For over 2 decades, Grand Theft Auto has created and nurtured the sandbox genre. There is no question in my mind that when it comes to these type of games, Rockstar is the clear winner in this arena. There are now thousands upon thousands of video games out there, and of course, everyone has their own opinions on which ones rank in their own top 3 or top 5 list. But as a self-proclaimed pro gamer with over 30 years of experience in the gaming realm, what would I consider to be the #1 best ever if I absolutely had to pick one? That is the question I am pondering today. This idea came to me when I recently picked GTA 5 back up again. I had been away from it for several years for various reasons, but primarily because I started to become bored with the online play. So as I started to play it again, I was stunned at just how good it really is. I had forgotten how beautiful the game looked and how well it played, and overall, what it had to offer. Since I had been gone, a lot has changed. Most importantly, the heists being added, which has been around for a while now, but is new to me. So many vehicles added to the game, like the Batmobile and the DeLorean most notably. New cooperative missions are now available to play, which is for me, my favorite part of the game. The co-op missions available several years ago had become boring and was one of the main reasons I stopped playing. So, a lot has been added and the game has certainly evolved since its inception. So many great additions have improved the foundation of the game, but this is not to say GTA 5 is perfect. So what sucks about it? Well, that's easy. Having walked away for so long, to come back now, I am at a serious disadvantage. The moment I jumped into a multiplayer server, I was on guard. Before I even left my apartment, I knew I had to be careful of walking out my front door, so I made sure to recall all I could about how to play before doing so. As I was sitting in my garage checking out all my old rides, before I had even walked outside, a mark had been put on me. I was almost surprised, but having played the game before, I knew what I was walking into. I hop in my car and begin driving around to admire the city, get familiar with the game, and figure out things. Within seconds, a DeLorean flies overhead, drops some kind of bomb on me, and blows me all to hell. That mark that was set on me drew attention to me quick. Okay, I laughed and smiled knowing it would happen before it ever did. As I continued to play, things got a little easier again. That's not to say people weren't hunting me down, but at this point the game was coming back to me and I could defend myself. Not from flying DeLoreans, but pretty much anyone else I could handle. Part of the fun of playing online is the very fact that people are trying to kill you to take your money, so it was all good. I remember the days my brother and I would fly to the tallest buildings we could find, break out our sniper rifles, and see how many people we could pick off, marks set on them or not. So after playing some co-op missions, exploring the city, and checking out what's been added, I was curious. If I wanted to buy some currency to speed things up in getting the apartments and cars I wanted, how expensive would it be? Well, to my surprise, awfully expensive. Just to put things in perspective, if you want a quick 8 mil, that's going to be about $100 US. I don't know if this is something that really sucks about the game. If it was cheap, then everyone would be paying their way to an army tank and all the best equipment in the game. But spending $100 for 8 mil just seems insane to me. In fact, you could easily blow through that virtual currency very quickly. So yeah, I will never be buying any GTA money, and most people would frown on that kind of thing anyway, but I found it interesting. Overall, my main point is that playing and surviving online for any new player, or even someone like myself who's been away for a long time, is daunting and can be very, very frustrating. I could go on about the negatives to the game, but there are far more positives, and the more I write this dialogue, the more I'm realizing this is going to be a very long video, so I'm going to try and speed things up a bit. So, is GTA 5 my favorite video game of all time? Can it beat out every single other game I have ever played and win for the #1 spot? Is it even in my top 3? How do I even make this decision? The only way to do this is to go with my gut feeling and use the scale I have always used to gauge how well a game really is. The good old graphics, music, controls, storyline, and attention to detail scale. So let's knock them down one by one. Graphics. There is no question GTA 5 looks great, but the game is nearly 7 years old now. Well, at its present condition, it looks really good to me. And beyond that, I guess I should mention now, to anyone that is living under a rock, GTA 5 is being enhanced for the new next-gen systems. Seems the developers want to get some more miles out of this game before they launch GTA 6, which we'll go into in a moment. My guess is when it does get a re-release, it's going to look amazing. So with that in mind, and the fact that I'm an old school gamer who can still play Nintendo games and enjoy them, I'm going to give the graphics of GTA a 4.5 out of 5, which I know can be argued to death. Music. To me, music is a huge, huge part of any game or any movie, or really any piece of cinema or entertainment. It can really make or break a game for me. GTA 5 has a lot to offer in this area, especially when you factor in all the cool radio talk shows they have on there, which doesn't really qualify as music, but they are on the radio nevertheless. To keep this simple, there are 162 tracks on the new refreshed playlist for Grand Theft Auto. Because I love mostly all types of music, there is a lot on there that I can enjoy, and a lot of songs I don't really care for. GTA has always brought a lot to the table when we talk about this area, and they did a good job again. For music, I will be giving the game a 4.5 out of 5. What would have brought it higher? More heavy metal. Enough said. The controls. I mean, come on, this isn't going to take long to make a decision here. It all comes down to, can I move around in my environment well? How do the cars and planes and helicopters handle? Being able to snap to walls and take cover seems to work really well most of the time. It works about as well as it possibly could in a game like this. Driving the cars feels better now than when I played years back. It just feels more realistic, and I have a better feel for things overall. Aircraft is about the same. For me, in a third-person game, the controls are about as perfect as they can get. There is one thing that drives me nuts though, having to pound the A button to run faster, so that knocks the score down a bit. Controls get another 4.5 out of 5. Storyline. Man, it's been a long time since I played the career mode, but from what I remember, it was great. I enjoyed each of the 3 main characters' arcs, and as much as I was not a huge fan of Trevor in the beginning, he grew on me and became my favorite by the end. I could go into serious detail on what the overall storyline here is, but most of you know it by now. The game kicks off with a robbery that goes south. Michael meets Franklin, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship. There are some big heists along the way. They end up working for the feds for a while, blah blah blah, and then there's a pretty amazing train heist. And by the end of the story, Franklin has the final choice in how it all goes. There are 3 different endings for GTA 5 that can happen, and all in all you can get about 50 hours out of the main campaign if you really want to. There is no two ways about it. The story rocks, and I don't even have to think about it. The story gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Attention to detail. This is always a hard one, and with a game like this, my god, could I go on and on. You can watch television, which is quite hilarious at times.
Okay, girl, there is a big wrecking ball outside, and they're gonna smash your house down. No! Calm down, bitch.
There's car races. There's a casino, horse betting, and a golf course. You've got gyms, restaurants, gun shops, tattoo parlors. It goes on and on. You can drink alcohol and do other things.
Whoa! That stuff is rough!
The city of Los Santos is a deep world with lots of buildings to go into and so much to explore. A lot of thought went into every square inch of the world that is GTA 5. The number of outfits your characters can wear is large, the gun selections are high, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. No need to go on about it anymore. The attention to detail for GTA 5 is, well, a 5. So that's about as short as I can possibly keep it. So much fun to be had in this game. Mowing down people by the dozens in your car is always fun. Running from the cops, that's classic. All the multiplayer modes available is staggering. There is so much packed into this game, I can't possibly cover it all in one video, which is why the game is so great. But what's the final verdict here? Is GTA 5 really the best game of all time, best game ever made hands down? Well, for me, yeah, it kinda is. I mean, what? You didn't actually think I was gonna make this video for me to get all the way to this point and say no, did you? I mean, it's a tough decision to make, no doubt about it. There are so many great games that I have played throughout my life, but the GTA games have always blown my mind as to the size and scale and depth that they present. I can't even imagine how many man-hours and people it takes to bring a game like this to life. Could it be better? Could they do more? Of course, you can say that about any game ever made. But for me, if someone was to ask me, hey man, what's your favorite video game ever? The first thing that would come out of my mouth is Grand Theft Auto. So what about GTA 6? Well, I've done some internet research to see what I can find, and it's a pretty obvious answer at this point. It's still a ways off. With the enhanced and expanded version of GTA 5 announced, it's clear Rockstar and company want to get more out of this version. And when you really think about it, there's no reason not to go that route. If the game can be made to look even better, and it's easy to add content to the already solid foundation, that's exactly what they're going to do. But for those of you who want a brand new GTA game, don't stress it too much. It's most certainly coming, and the timeline isn't too hard to figure out. I won't go into all the details leading to this conclusion, but with all things factored in, the most reasonable timeline would be between April 2023 and March 2024. So yeah, it could be as long as 4 freaking years before we see it, but we all know it's coming. And personally, I don't think that's something that should be rushed. I'm sure most of you can agree with me on that. Well, that about wraps it up. I wish I could say GTA 6 is on the horizon, but it's still very much past that. For the few people who have never played a GTA game or may have found this video, for the love of God, go play GTA 5 and see what you are missing. For those of you who have played it and like it, I hope you found this video to be enjoyable, as I speak nothing but praise to this old yet amazing game that most certainly ranks as my tip-top game of all time. But wait, if this is my most beloved game of all time, then what in God's name are the runners-up? Well, the only way you're ever going to find out is if this video does well enough to justify another one. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And if you do give a shit to know what my top 5 games are, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so if and when it does drop, you can check it out. And if you agree with this video, please share it. God knows we could use the support. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please leave some comments below on your favorite game of all time. I'd love to know what it is. Thanks for watching.
Nigga. What?